Hello everybody, MA Shoots here again, and today we will be filming a documentary or giving you a documentary on how I did the famous fashion shoot named Mary. This grad shoot was one for the books. I can't lie to you, I loved this grad shoot mainly because I had my own little twist on it, you know. When Mary came to me, she was like we were friends for about some months, like 6 months, and she had came to me and she knew I was a photographer, and she came and she was like, Maya, I want you to take my grad photos. And I was like, what? You mean me? Take your like, I didn't have that much experience to really handle those, like, you know, photos, like, you know, like to me, like, she was the person that, like, you know, had big expectations, and I was like kind of scared. I'm like, me, like really, like I didn't believe it. But hey, she came to me and we met in a Barnes and Noble. Believe it or not, we started planning the mood board, and we had created a Pinterest board, and she showed me this one picture, and that picture was a picture taken by 69 views, right? It had an arc in the picture, and I was looking very specifically during that time, and I was like, how am I gonna replicate this look? Like, how am I gonna replicate this look? Like, it's crazy, like, what he had. I was like, honestly, like, I don't even know how I'm going to replicate this, like, cause in that particular arc there was like things like a little wine, like little windows to like place stuff on. I was like, what? Like, how am I gonna do this? So my first thought was like, I'm gonna probably buy this, and arcs cost like about $1,000 to $2,000, like, and I was like, yeah, no. Then God dropped in my mind that, why don't you build this, like, and I was like, yeah, like, why not build it, like, you know? So me and my friend, we went to Home Depot, right? And this was on a Friday, right? We went on a Friday, and we got to look at the materials, and we talked to the Home Depot, you know, specialist in the store, and asked them, like, what would it take to build this arc? We showed him a picture, and he was like, you know, 4 planks, this and that, and I was like, okay. Like, I'm still thinking about it, still nervous about it, and I'm like, you know, okay. So I go back home, you know, I pray about it, and, you know, I mean, since God like really dropped this idea to like build it, I was like, you know, why not just do it? Like, sometimes when I think things in my mind, I get so scared. It's like, dang, can I really do this? But like, I don't know, when I just have something in my mind, I stick to it, no matter how discouraged I get, like, no matter how hard it is. And we just did it, like, you know. I went there Saturday, got a U-Haul, bought all the materials, and drove to the studio, right? Dropped everything at the studio, offloaded everything, and we set out to build it on Monday. Mind you, this shoot is on Wednesday, so we have like a very small window to like build this and execute it. Like, building this arc honestly couldn't have been done without my team. First of all, I want to thank my team so much. We finished this shoot you know, 1 a.m. that day, and I wouldn't be able to do that or execute this without my team. Like, shout out to y'all, shout out to you, I love all of y'all. 2, without the help of God, none of this would have been possible. Like, I got so discouraged even while shooting, because it's like, you are on set and you're thinking like, how am I gonna light this, how am I gonna do this? But to the glory of God, everything came to pass, you know. Honestly, it was a crazy one. So yeah, y'all, we're gonna be going through how we shot these photos. You're gonna be picking my brain, or you're going to get to, you know, see how I was thinking on set, how my head was kind of operating. You're gonna get to see that. I'm gonna explain it to you guys. And yeah, if you have any questions, just shoot it in the comments. I'm here to answer all of them. All right, let's get started. Honestly, what inspired this fashion graduation shoot was I wanted to simply do something out of the ordinary, out of the regular cap and gown photos. Like, that's boring. I said, why not do something better? So I said, how about do graduation photos, but make it fashion? So that was why, and that was what inspired these photos. So, like I said, I was inspired by this particular picture, by 69 Views. He had an arc with like holes or like little things in it to place cups, and I was like, how am I gonna do that? So I decided, why not, build one myself? And that's how I thought about building the arc, going to Home Depot and getting materials for that arc to build. Honestly, I saw Mary's outfit. It was brown, so I was like, why not do something like monochrome, like everything be brown, the curtains brown, the arc brown, the drapes brown, and everything just be brown, like have a monochrome type shoot. And honestly, it also matched her skin because she's like dark skin, so I was like, wait, why not? Like, it would work. So that was what inspired that. So first, our team set out with a game plan. We started executing around 8-9 p.m. We knew this was gonna take long, so we did it during the night. We didn't want to do it during the day because we wouldn't have control over the light in the studio, so we decided night would be best. Me and my team carefully carved out how the set would look like, so from there all we were doing was just executing. We had how the drapes were gonna look like, how the arc was gonna look like, how the set was gonna be lit up. So that is how we kind of executed incrementally. When you invest in photography like this, you're not only getting beautiful images, you are preserving memories, you're telling your story, and you're also celebrating yourself in a timeless, elevated manner. Honestly, when I think about shoots, I think about how can I make this my own? How can I twist the narrative? How can I make this one of one? What can I do differently that others haven't done, so I could stand out or to impress my audience, to help you have a timeless photo that no one else has, one of one. Honestly, when I take your photos, I want you to feel empowered, bold, and inspired. I don't just want to celebrate what you are, but I want to celebrate what you've become. I want you to be able to print out those photos, hang it on a wall, and say, dang, I really see myself as that person who could get that degree, who wasn't afraid to try, who didn't give up in those hard times. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this documentary. Honestly, you guys are everything. Like, I want to appreciate everyone who has been following me on my journey right from when I started. I love y'all so much, and I can't wait to share more projects and more breakdowns with you. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.